Chinese officials arrive in Washington to start the next round of trade talks. China's vice premier was greeted by Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer and Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin today. President Trump tweeted he is scheduled to meet with the vice premier at the White House Friday. Now, it's the first time the two nations have engaged in trade negotiations since July in an effort to defuse the ongoing trade war. One America's Emerald Robinson talked to members of the president's trade team about their expectations for this round of talks. Take a look.
After 2 days of talks at the deputy level in Washington, D.C., high-level negotiations on trade between the U.S. and China are set to begin on this Thursday. The talks are the first high-level talks in 2 months and follow on the heels of a U.S. decision to blacklist several Chinese companies for human rights abuses against Muslim minorities in the Xinjiang region of China. The talks have been prickly since breaking down last May after China reneged on what the U.S. team had thought was a nearly done deal. White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow, talking to reporters this week, suggested that the Chinese side have been a bit more cooperative in recent days.
The president is defending the American economy. He will continue to defend the American economy. Now, having said that, the Chinese seem to be a little more cooperative recently. They've been in the market buying some agriculture. We like that. The statements coming out of Beijing have been a little more positive.
But White House trade advisor Peter Navarro, talking exclusively to One America News, said that not much has changed since the last round of talks that broke down.
It's not clear to me there is anything different. This is like the movie Groundhog Day, right? This is the 13th time they've come. But here's what's important. Back in May, we had an agreement in hand, over 150-page draft agreement that dealt with the 7 different structural issues China is engaging in. We had that deal. We had a deal with China. They reneged. I think the question on our side is, what's the starting point for the negotiations? Is it going to be where they left off and walked away, or are they going to try something much lesser?
The U.S. remains focused specifically on intellectual property rights and other tariff and non-tariff barriers, but Kudlow said there might be some wiggle room and some room for short-term as well as long-term options.
We are open to a number of ideas. Some may be short-term, some may be long-term. It's essential that the structural issues we've talked about, for 2 years since I've been around, the IP theft, the forced transfers of technology, the cyberspace hacking, the espionage, the trade tariffs, the non-tariff barriers, that stuff's got to get solved.
And while the two sides are talking, White House officials have set rather low expectations for any real progress to come out of these 2 days of talks. At the White House, Emerald Robinson, One America News.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.